Hello, hello, hello. Look at this. I've got this weird. I started typing, and as you see, the tarot is backwards on Facebook, which is really funny because I don't know what happened there. Oh, so that's something fun to start with. I hope everybody's doing well. I am just going to. Um, okay, hold on. Oh my goodness. I'm just going to wait for a second because sometimes people like to be live here. So let's talk a little bit about this Sagittarius new moon, which is happening tonight. And as a Sag, I know that myself, and by the way, thank you for all the birthday wishes last weekend. It was really, and like the whole weekend. I love you all. I love anybody I've had the honor of meeting. Some not so much. No, I'm just kidding. That's not really it. We can love everybody. Maybe we just can't be, super buds with everybody. Of course, neither am I everybody's cup of tea as well. But let's get down to the fact that Sagittarius in itself is the mature sun sign, the mature fire sign, the adult. And so what happens is that for us Sages, we're philosophical. We tend to look at things at the bigger picture, which sometimes can lose a lot of people in conversations because we're not just looking at what's in front of us, we're looking at how it affects things down the road as well. So, but the really wonderful thing is, and I'm a fire rabbit, which is really quite interesting because Sagittarians are basically lucky people. And you can get into stuff like the law of attraction and look at it that way, that we just expect the best. So we jump off the cliff without knowing if there's any water there. So that's really what's going on with this new moon. It's not just the ending, but this is really like we've had a huge energy. Oh my God, this last Mercury retrograde was the worst in my recent history that I've ever remembered. It was crazy. Even tonight, like if you look on Facebook, tarot is literally spelt backwards. It would not do any other thing, but we're no retrograde. But anyways, so that's my little thing. So this new moon is pretty exciting. It's turning us on our heads, and it's demanding that you be clear on what it is your intentions are. But that being said, I've also read in some reports that this is almost like a magical new moon. Every single new moon is magical, but we've been undergoing a huge shift globally. Everything's rocking and rolling because we need to break everything apart before we can put it back together. And I know that's been my life for the last, oh God, seems like 5 years. So take this time though, and it's funny because we'll get into the reading now. Because that's my little start. So again, we had the mouse spirit. So if you see, this is the spirit animal oracle. And again, tend to the small things. While some of us may not like mice or their brethren rats, the thing is with the mouse is very meticulous. The mouse goes and, goes from here, takes it there, scurries around a bit. So what happens with the mouse spirit is tend to the small things, which means that a lot of times focus on the mundane, like focus on making sure that you take time to meditate. It's not necessarily the outcome of the meditation. It's the fact of making sure you have a schedule that includes that. Make sure that your home is clean. Make sure that things are tidy. Make sure that clutter is not about. And, that kind of stuff. Because one of the things, I'm just looking up this as well, just to see if, in your eagerness to meet your goals and pursue your dreams, it's easy to forget the importance of clear communication and tending to the little things, including people's subtle signs that they're unhappy, as well as a small voice inside of you that says, this doesn't feel right. Take time to sniff out what you need to know. Is there some detail or nuance, how to engage with other people or operate in the world, that is key to your success, but you've too readily dismissed it? You know, the biggest thing is again, and this has come up a couple of times over the last months, where it's been, you know, when we're focusing on the details that make our life, hello Arlene, hello Karen, hello Verna, making our life fulfilling, you know, making sure we have a nice place, making sure that our groceries are bought. It's during those times as well that it frees our mind. So we need to be able to be open to our heart enough, making sure you're doing those small things every day, so that if your heart is trying to talk to you, if a message is trying to get through, that you're not going to be ignoring it, that you're going to value anything that comes through you. So getting right into it, and I love that Karen asked for all 3 cards, and so did somebody else. So this is an interesting reading. It's beautiful. So the first card we have today is the Daughter of Earth, and that is, of course, what is also looked at as the Page in other decks. But the Daughter of Earth is basically, she's a manifester. She's the creativity. She's, you know, with the court cards, you know, youth is wasted on the young, how we say that, right? So what happens with the court cards is this is like a youthful exuberance when it comes to manifesting. So it's like, but it's also the feminine side, which means that we can just be in what we're doing, right? We can just be in that energy. We know that we're creative already. So this isn't an ace to 10. As a matter of fact, nothing here this week shows any kind of, it's not super profound, but it's more actually just settling into who it is that we are, which is really funny when we have the mouse spirit overarching everything. But the Daughter of Earth, so any kind of feminine energy is being, not doing, but because we have that as the manifesting, you know, she has everything with her. She has all the fruits and vegetables she needs. She has the, you know, the blanket or the quilt that's on the back wall. So she expresses everything. She has everything that she needs, but she also has this optimism because she actually is just finally realizing what she's capable of, right? So it's not even about failure or success. It's about the fact that we actually understand that it's like, wow, I got power, you know, I've got this, you know, and so that's what's going on with that. And that the court card, I interpret it as more of bringing it into our personality, right? And that is like just being confident in a different way. And I've talked about the difference between confidence and cocky over the last couple of months, here and there, splattered in there. And that is, you know, when we actually know that we can do what we say, we have this integrity. This integrity comes from within. So it's like we were faking it till we made it, and now we're making it. I hope that makes sense there. So here's card number 2, which is rather interesting because it's the 10 of Fire, which is oppression. So what happens with fire and with air is that going from the ace up to the 10 is more like creating a tornado, right? So what happens, as we see here, we've got the animal skull, we've got the embers, right? We've got the embers of the fire, we've got the setting sun. So fire is action, but the challenge with fires is a lot of times you end up going here and there instead of actually allowing things to come through you. You try and push things, says the fire baby, right? So anybody that's a Sag, we get itchy feet. Sometimes patience is definitely not a virtue. We definitely don't have the patience of an earth sign, which is like a meticulous. It doesn't mean that we don't have aspects of that. But considering people like yourself, Karen, who asked for all 3, and there was somebody else as well, the combination of these 2 is almost like warring with yourself because you're so used to pushing to make things happen. But now it's like, okay, you know what? I know I've got the confidence to do what I say I'm going to do, but now I've got to actually walk the walk. And this is really a challenge when we actually know that we have the ability, but we have to actually follow our faith. We actually have to, like, faith as a verb. So it's like, I'm not going to push through this. I am going to, I'm not going to push through this right now. I'm going to actually get out of my own way so I can let it, let myself be free, right? So sometimes when we throw spaghetti at the wall, what happens is that we're so used to doing that. We're so used to making things happen that letting them happen is a bigger challenge. And again, we've got this new moon that's coming up, and we've also got this mouse, which is paying attention to those details, paying attention to where are you not listening to your own common sense? When are you not following your own heart? Those are the things that you need to be looking at. And then this is beautiful. Card number 3 is a major arcana. And major arcana is, basically a life shift. And look at that beautiful card, integration. And you can see it at the top. She's weaving the birds into the quilt or into the through the loom, and then out through the top are the birds. So that's like the epitome of manifestation, but it's not even just manifesting. It's the fact of like, you're just bringing everything that you know in together. And so the interesting part, we have a court card, which is really honoring an aspect of who we are. Or, the thing is, when I do these readings, this card can mean that somebody with these characteristics can come into your life. I like to phrase it that it's you, that it's you, because we all have aspects of all this stuff in us, and that's how I prefer to read. But just to keep that in mind, because right now we've got the court card, which is really like an essence of the personality, an essence of a quality of who we are, not just a cycle that we're going through. Then we have the end of a cycle, which is, again, going through life's ups and downs and learning from them. And to top it off with card number 3, and I know there was quite a few of, a bunch of the different cards. Card number 3 is integration. So with integration, it's just basically bringing everything together, the masculine and the feminine, the being and the doing. And that's exactly what this is, which is really kind of funny, right? Because she's the epitome of just, you know what? Yeah, you got the confidence, but the feminine aspect of being, and then we have the masculine of the fire, and it's like, slow down with the fire, be more present. And then at the end we get integration. So Miss Karen, whatever you've been working on for, I know it's been a while too, I mean, haven't we all through this last year? It's going to magically take flight. Things are going to come together. And let me go, because I've got this with my Celtic, I have the Celtic deck. Do you seek balance or moderation? So, which is what integration is all about in the Celtic. So, so basically what's happening with that is taking everything that you know, taking everything that you've learned and making it part of your life. But it's also, sometimes we say pick our battles. That's literally what's going on right now, right? Pick your battles. But more importantly, with the shift like this and with this new moon coming up, it's not even about picking your battles anymore. Right now, it's about seriously getting down to know what it is that you can do. And with that knowledge, you're going to set new goals that you know you're going to be able to meet. You know that you're going to be able to hit those targets because you have a stronger sense of self. And where you don't have that sense of self, which isn't really there, you're going to have to say, okay, now look yourself in the eye in the mirror and say, you know what? You've been through this. You know what to do. No one's going to die. Let's get this done. So I hope that makes sense this week. Hi, Renya. I will, yes, you can have a reading for anybody, by the way. I'm doing palm readings online. And maybe if you want a gift certificate or you want to do a tarot party with you and your friends, please let me know. And we can set that up. And Karen, I got to talk to you about that druid situation going on. Anyways, love you all. I hope you have a wonderful night. And we shall see you next week. Okay, bye.